Gentlemen, welcome to the Bookfest Club. I'm your co-host Jay, along with my co-host Key and my co-host Jules. And today we are back in the Jahquel universe. We gave y'all Capone, we gave y'all Capadonna, and we left y'all off with just Capri 1. We did y'all so dirty. I'm so sorry. It took a little while, but we're back here again with Capri Book 1.5. Before we get into the book, we like to do our little check-in on the week. How's the week been going for everybody? Key, we start with you first.
The week has been going good. Just been working as usual. The usual, working, sleeping, being tired. How have you guys been doing?
Man, I've been under the weather, and so I'm it's good to feel back. You know what I'm saying? When you like, man, okay, I'm 100%. Like last week, I was still recovering, wasn't 100%. I feel like I'm 100% now.
Exactly. We
and,
back.
You know what I'm saying? I'm back, man, for real. Tell the kids we're going to Chuck E. Cheese, man.
Tell them to get out of here. We back. But let's not keep the people waiting, y'all. Y'all know we follow our rubric. You know what I'm saying? We got the 7-point thriller rubric today. And we're going to talk about the book because I know y'all been waiting for us to get into the book. But let's start with point number 1, the big reveal from the ending of Capri Book 1. They didn't really expound on it. It was just like, oh, Capri's brother's here, and then you have written the audio book if you want to, right? So
Simon and Schuster,
right? And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what happened? What is going on here? So the big reveal, right? What did you think about the big reveal with concerning the twins and Capri having another long lost brother? Now we know that they got a brother. Now, as we move on, did the twist strengthen the storyline or did it feel unnecessary?
For me, I would say it was a big twist. I was really, really shocked because the Delgato family is a really strong unit. They value family. They value loyalty. So to hear that there is a Delgato brother out there somewhere that none of the siblings knew about was crazy to me. And I couldn't wait to get to the end of this book and go into the next one so we could figure out, where did Corleone come from? I think the twist strengthened the storyline. You know, I'm not going to say I was getting bored because I love Capone, Capadonna, and Capri, but now we got another C added to the gang. So I think it was definitely an exciting twist for sure. And I can't wait to see how Corleone plays a part in the Delgato family.
Now, is it just me? I just realized this, right? It's really all C's. I didn't know. I, literally, until you just said it, I didn't realize it's all C's, bro. That's dope. Even Capella. Like, Capella is all C's.
And his nickname is Chubbs.
So it's like, what?
I think Kendra did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Kendra did that on purpose, man.
You think?
Oh, she did.
No, she always reaches. You know, she extra, man. Kendra, I'm gonna name her Capella. Stop,
what did you think, Jules?
I'm gonna be honest. 2 things. 1, unpopular opinion. I think the name Corleone is so corny. Corleone is so corny.
Really?
Yes, man.
It makes me Don Corleone.
It's from The Godfather, man. Like, history. So I just feel like that's been done.
Capone, like, his name, you know what I mean? Like Al Capone, Don Corleone. I feel like maybe that was intentional. Capadonna. Like, I feel like the names, it's intentional. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's intentional for sure.
It's how you plate the dish, though, right? If I give you porterhouse steak on a nice plate, garnished with parsley, you got your garlic potatoes over there. You probably got a nice little roll on a nice, like, golden plate, trimmed plate. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to eat that. But if I serve you that same dish on a trash can lid, you know, I feel like how they served up Core. You bumping into him in the hospital, like, and then they had to go back, right? She had to go back. And so she was like, okay, shootout scene. Let's make him the hero. But I just feel like you already gave a foreshadowing with Kendra bumping into him, and you know what I'm saying?
But we didn't know that, though. We didn't know that was. I didn't know who that was that she bumped into.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Like, when the reveal happened to Capri, I feel like she was just. It's like, okay, who's this dude? Okay, all right, I don't got time for this right now. But I just feel like they kind of
get that because it was
kind of rushed
moment.
it. They kind of rushed that moment. I had to go back because I listened to it on audiobook, and so I had to go back and listen to that a few times. I wonder if the readers who was reading the actual book had to go back and read that part a few times because it was kind of just, I feel like it was rushed. And I love Jai as a writer, but I feel like this important piece that you're about to introduce to the universe, like, I feel like it was rushed. But and so that's one, right? The name was corny. I feel. And then I feel like that little part was rushed. And so I wasn't really interested in this story until, we got into 1.5. And I'm just like, oh man, this dude is changing street lights. He's changing computers. It's crazy. And so, yeah, man, I feel like I'm here for it.
The names didn't bother me. I know it's been done in other books with Capone and stuff like that. But let me tell you how she did her spin on it, though. It's the nicknames, because we don't even think about it. See, our job here at the Bookfest Club is to dissect everything in the book, right? And not everything is going to be perfect in the book. In a perfect world, we wish everything was perfect. Even with our podcast, people might find faults in it, but it's the way that way that we, rectify the situation. So I feel like, her reconciliation with that was nicknames. We don't even normally call them by their name. It's Capo, it's Cap, it's Big Cap, and it's Core. Core is fire. Cause think about it. If you a genius, if you were what you call them people, a cyber tech guy. What IT. Other name than Core? Core just sounds like, then meet my man Core. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just sounds like he about to get into something. So even though the whole name, I get what you're saying, the whole name, Corleone, Capadonna, Capri, it gives mobsters name. She did flip it and make it for us with the nicknames, because nobody really says the whole name except for, and they don't even call Capri. They say Big Mama or Big Pre. So even in that realm, she has to give them a full name, because they need a real name to go. Capri Delgato, Capone Delgato, Don. You know what I'm saying? They have to give full names, but we don't normally use those names. But I get what you're saying. They might feel rushed. It's only rushed because you wanted that,
me, bro. You changed my mind, bro.
But look, it's only rushed because you wanted to get to that end of the book and you wanted to more. But that's why she broke it up in the way that she broke it up. So I think that it definitely strengthens the story. But it's okay to have opposite opinions and what we feel. But this is going into the book. This is not a reflection of the actual final thoughts going into it. So with number 2, right?
And then Core is like, it's a spin on that too, bro. I just got to piggyback real quick, because the core means like, that's an essential part of something. That's what the word core means. Think about your core of your body, right? Your pelvis, your abs, your back. Like you don't know how much you use your abs or use your back until you hurt your back, right? You're like, oh man, everything. And so like, I feel like this is kind of like his nickname is kind of like a foreshadowing of how important and how essential he is to the family.
And that's where I was going with it. Think about it. He's the core piece. He's the missing piece to the family. He's the whole section to the family. The family can't be whole until you have a core piece. And he brings that final clue, that final piece to the puzzle in the Delgado universe. He's what makes their family whole. Until Core gets there, their family is broken apart. And we're going to see that through the arguments of 1.5 in book 2. So now that name, Core, the essential piece to the puzzle, he's bringing it, the whole family, full circle. So
that's bottom of the ocean, bro.
I think that's definitely a point, but that's why we here, right? That's why we do what we do. We the Bookfest Club, baby. Ain't nobody like us. But to get into this one, Key, it is not just as a female. As a female in this book, and we get to point 2, she brings in this thing a police brutality scene, right? When you got Capella and you got Goon, and I forgot the other IG that was there that was filming, but she touched on the police brutality and its connection to today's society. How did that storyline make you feel, Key? Did you think it was handled effectively on how we see today with police brutality? Because that's a new theme that's introduced into the Jahquel universe that makes the characters more humanized in this story, in my opinion. But go ahead, Key.
I actually didn't like that part of the story. Because I feel like Capella was being really, really ignorant.
100%.
That actually happened in the previous book. I don't think the police brutality happened in 1.5. It happened in 1 because Capri is a lawyer. But I thought it was really, really stupid. This is the thing. Police brutality is something that is disgusting. no one should do it. It makes me angry when I see it. But there are sometimes where I see videos when people like to intentionally provoke the cops. And it's like, that's a dangerous situation to be in as African American. And I'm not saying just you got to give up your rights or anything like that, because you deserve the respect that any other race gets when you get stopped by a police officer. But I definitely feel like in that case, Capella exacerbated those emotions, and he made it into a situation that turned into him getting arrested. And I felt like that whole thing was just completely ignorant. It was at that point that I stopped liking Capella. I feel like he was acting like Capadonna. You know, Capadonna is just reckless. Like the way he does things just out in the open, he doesn't care. And it's just like, you have to care. You just got out of prison. And then to see his son doing the same stupid stuff, that I didn't like that scene. I feel like Capella could have just left. He could have just dispersed, especially knowing who his family is. Y'all are doing illegal stuff. Y'all are running drugs. You know what I mean? Like, y'all painted the whole city red. Why would you ever want police attention on you? And even going into the next book, I'm not going to reveal what happens, but there is a way that Capadonna fixes that situation. And even him doing that was just kind of like, your son was being stupid. That's why
he had to play cleanup.
He had to play cleanup when it's just, listen, play your role. That's why I've always said from the very first moment, I have so much respect for Capone and how he handles things, because he does it low key. Okay. He's not somebody that's just boasting and being all loud. Like, look at what we doing. It's Capella bringing undue attention to the family. I was really frustrated with that. So I get what you're saying, police brutality, but I was just so frustrated with Capella and how stupid he was that I just couldn't even see it from a police brutality angle. Like, the police definitely messed up. They shouldn't have done all that. But at the same time, Capella, what are you doing? What are you doing? And even Goon being there and like, he's on probation. Like, what are y'all doing? That just wasn't a smart look. That wasn't a smart move.
But even when you said that, it wasn't, and you're right, it did happen in 1, but when Capri got the phone call in 1.5, they were showing the video of when I meant police brutality, and you spoke on it, but I just wanted to clarify when I speaking on police brutality, I was talking about the actual video that was shown of him getting beaten. It already happened, but it happened for the readers. Capri didn't find out yet. That's why I brought that up as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? Because she found out. That's why she was good.
We got to see her do her lawyer thing, and I really, really like that. Capri
that was a cool part.
She's a lawyer, but we don't really get to see her in the courtroom a lot. And I like seeing her in action. I like seeing her a little nervous because this is new for her. She's not used to taking on this role, but the start of her taking on a bigger role in the Delgado criminal family enterprise. Now she's behind the scenes. She's behind the scenes working with the law. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to really come into play, even with, like you said, Core being the hacker and removing cameras and computers behind the scenes. You got Capri doing her thing, Amy being a hacker. So I did enjoy those parts of the book where the characters are doing more than just street stuff. Now they're taking it to the legal route. They're going behind the scenes and messing up stuff like on that side. So I did really like seeing that in this book.
What about you, Drew?
I'm curious if Capella ever had the talk, right? The talk that fathers have to give their melanated sons. Because Kendra robbed him of being raised by his father. And so, and I'm not giving him a pass, but I'm just curious, and I don't want to go down that road anymore. I'm just curious if he had the talk. And you all know about what the talk is. But the characters, I feel like the characters came alive, man. I mean, Capri, baby, let's talk about it, man.
The character dynamics and the romance. This is the part where I turn left and I turn heel, but I'm going to let you guys go because y'all know I do not like Kwame, and I'm going to get on him. I'm on him. Like how Method Man and Redman was like, get him. I'm about to get him. So I'm going to let y'all go first. How did y'all feel about the character dynamics and the romance of whatever his pissy, whatever you want to call him?
I like Capri's glow up in this one, right? I feel like she's coming of age. She's maturing. She's getting her family, right? She's getting her family. And this is the coming together of her family. And this is also her healing era, right? She's healing. I like the lawyer moves that Key talked about. I like the fact that her boundaries are being tested by Brandy, by Mom, even by Kwame, right? Her boundaries are being tested. I love her emotional growth, especially in, I think it's Capri 2, where they have, the big bump in the heads, her and Mama Jean, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that was just awesome. And I know we'll talk about that later. But Mir, man, he's applying pressure in more ways than one. He's taking liberties, right? And Capri is giving him those liberties. But he's not letting her be a people pleaser either. And I like that about Kwamir's character, where he's iron sharpening iron for Capri. You know, he's not letting her people please her way through life anymore. You know, she's so accustomed to that prior to the trip, and he's making her stand on her square. And so I like that. Core, I need more from him, you know, immediately, right? They're giving you bits and pieces of him. Okay, this is what he do. And eventually they do get into Core's story, you know, but I feel like I just need some more of him. I feel like I got more of his mom than I got of him.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? Mm-hmm. And so Amy, I'm just kind of going through the characters. Girl, pick a struggle, please. Like, pick a struggle. You got so many struggles going on. You're trying to be an IT pro. You're trying to be a hacker. You're trying to wife, mom, student. In there, it's the perfect storm.
So she can't do it all? You're saying she can't do it all?
She's not good at doing it all.
She has a meltdown.
She's not good at it. And that's okay, right? I just feel like it's an identity crisis in 4K. I mean, like she just needs to get some help. And that's okay, right? But who is in Amy's life that's saying, hey, baby girl, go get some therapy? Who's telling her, right? And so I feel like she needs some help. Brandy, fake, period. Let's move on. Jesse, I don't like you. I don't like you, Jesse. And so, bam, there we are.
What about you, Key?
Speaking on the romance between Capri and Quamir, I was actually frustrated with them in this book. I felt like I was really disappointed. At the end of the last book, it seemed like they had it together. And then in this book, you know, Capri is my girl, but she's like, yeah, I just want to keep it a secret. And I kept thinking, for what? What are you keeping it a secret? From who? Why should it be kept a secret? Y'all figured it out. Y'all best friends. Y'all made stuff shake in the last book. In this book, I feel like, you know, she moved backwards. She wanted to keep them a secret. She didn't want nobody to know. And then she would get upset when he's not telling his daughter that they're together. It's just like, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. And Quamir has always said that he is not going to be opening up. And like he said, like you did your little thing with Kincaid and that didn't work out. And I know it hurt her that he brought that up, but it was like, he was being realistic. Like, you did this with Kincaid. Like, I got to know I got to know that we really in this, because you want to keep us a secret. But then you want to get mad when I don't tell my daughter about us. What am I supposed to tell her if you don't even want anybody to know that we're together? And then I will admit, her getting upset and like, oh, I don't want to be a baby mom, like I'm pregnant. And I felt like you learned this with Naheem. You were sleeping with him and got pregnant and got rid of it, which is your choice. And I was happy for you. You know, I didn't want y'all to have a baby. But then you're like surprised that you got pregnant when y'all been having unprotected sex. Like, what did you expect? And her being like, oh, I wanted to be a wife. And so she was just really frustrating me in this book. It felt like she literally took a step backwards for me. I was like, yes, my girl is getting everything. And in this book, and so she took a step back. And I felt like I liked her and Quamir, but I wanted their story to be different. I feel like Capadonna and Aliyah got married super fast. Capone and Aaron got married super fast. And now here's Capri and Quamir. They were literally arguing in this book. She's pregnant. They get back together and then they're getting married. And I was just like, but they were just arguing. Like, yeah, she's pregnant, but
it's like flirtatious in nature.
Yeah, but it was just, they were kind of shaky a bit, and Quamir wasn't. He was solid. He knew what he wanted. He was just kind of waiting for her. But her like, oh, I don't want to, like, I'm pregnant and freaking out. You're having unprotected sex. That's one of my pet peeves in books. When women act like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. What did you expect? What did you expect? So I was extremely frustrated with her, but I was so happy that they figured it out by the end of the book. She got to meet his mom and his grandma and the family and kumbaya. My only note for them was, I hope and I pray that they don't get married in Barbados. I was like, I'm tired of going to Barbados. Can we get a wedding somewhere else? Like, dang it. Like,
I know, right?
I'm sick of it. I do want to touch on something else that Jules said really quick too. I also feel like I love the mystery of Corleone from the last book, but I needed more. It was like, y'all got a secret brother and y'all don't deal with it. Nothing until Capri 2. Like, that's a big thing. You got a brother.
Absolutely.
And then that was it. It was like, oh my God, brother. And then nothing. And it was just kind of like, wait. He was in this book, but not really in it. You know, like you said, we know about his mom and her history and his connection with Zoya and her brother, but who really was Core? And it was just kind of like, Capri held this in this long. You have a brother. You have another brother. Why is this not a big deal? Like, you know, so that it was a big deal. And I feel like, you know,
I would have met with him sooner.
Yeah.
She had a lot going on, though. She did have a lot going on.
Man.
I think that was Jahquel's. That was Jahquel's point of the book. She wanted us to. It was the whole point. It was a lot. Think about it. It's a lot going on in the book, bro. But we want just one thing.
Brother. A brother.
Yeah. Things gotta be
the
put on
Delgato
hold.
family is like this. They are thick as thieves. Like Capadonna's in jail. He gets home. It's like he hasn't missed a beat because they done been keeping him informed. He knows everything. And you got a brother, and that's it.
You got a brother,
but just
you got a brother
nephew gets locked up, and she got a code switch. Think about it. She got into a shootout. Her husband just drowned some dude in the back. She realized she got a brother, and then she get a phone call. Yo, your nephew and goon is locked up. It's like, yo, all 4 things happen at one time. She got to get them out. She can't handle everything at one time. So
she has a brother that should have taken precedence, and I know she was dealing with a lot, but it was I feel just like Jules. It was just that reveal happened, and then this book happened, and I was like, so are they not going to meet? Like, what's going on? Like, what's up with that? You know, like,
and then my thing is, you spend all this time talking about this vacation, right?
Yeah,
and them going on. I feel like they could have scrapped the vacation.
I didn't care about the vacation.
Yeah, because they end up dipping early anyway.
They went to Miami anyway.
And that's where we going. We going right into Jessie and Brandy's behavior, because right after that, everything that we talking about is all in sequential order. So everything took place in this order, right? Capri. Now think about it. Now look how much. This is the only grace that I give Capri. We know she went from
okay, Jay.
She went from
Don't piss me off.
She went from floozy to family woman, right?
No.
What I'm saying is, go ahead. What you got? What happened?
You said she went what?
She went from floozy, hussy.
When was she a floozy or a hussy?
I'm saying
remind
she
me.
was.
Remind me what she did that made her a floozy or a hussy. Tell me exactly what she did. What did she do that made her a floozy, though? Tell me. Be specific. What made her a floozy?
Do you really want to go back down memory lane?
I do. We're going to do this every time.
She was married to a man, right?
That cheated on her all 3 years and had a baby.
Cheated on him. Dude in this circle,
still
right?
faking the chubs like he.
Right. Look, she cheated on him. It wasn't the fact that she cheated. I'm gonna be honest with you. If she cheated and stayed with Kincaid, then hold on. I'm gonna say this right now.
Okay.
It wasn't the fact that what made her floozy in my eyes wasn't the homie hopping, subject. It was the fact that you was with Kincaid, then you was thinking about Naeem, then you was with Kincaid, and then you literally said you was in Barbados thinking about you was having relations with Kincaid, and you was thinking about Naeem. Are you serious?
She literally just got divorced. We went over this, so I'm not going to patronize you, and I'm not going to give you the satisfaction.
Who do you want?
Doing this whole argument again. Capri is not a floozy. We went over this over and over again. She's a grown woman. She can have sex with whoever she wants to have sex with. She can. And so what? Capone has sex with both of her friends. He has sex with both her friends. He has sex with Tasha. And no one ever says, oh, Capone is nasty and he's trifling.
There can't be a double standard.
It can't be a double standard.
I'm bigging her up, though. I'm saying she went from hussy to fit.
She messed with Naeem and she messed with Kincaid. So many people said that even on the Jahquel page when we were talking about it, they was coming at Capri, but she's hopping from homies. Okay. And her brother slept with both of her friends. And matter of fact, and both of these women dissed his sister, and he still ended up having a baby with her and sleeping with Tasha still. So what does that make Capone? He's also a homie hopper. Why are you sleeping with your little sister's friends? And you know what? Capri was loyal. She begged and she pleaded. What do I have to do? She was going to quit going to school for this man, and he still ran around on her. Like I said in the first episode, she should have found out who his daddy was and slept with him and made Naeem her stepson. That would have been the revenge suitable for what he did to her. Then maybe. No, but sleeping with Kincaid, and then you have to look at Kincaid. Why don't Kincaid get no flack for that?
Because he was an innocent bystander.
He was not innocent.
He got caught up in the moment.
Naeem is his co-worker. He works for the brothers, and he's messing with their sister and ain't saying nothing like Premier did.
All right.
He has to take responsibility for that as well. It's always on Capri. Oh, it's Capri's fault. He could have been like, you know what? Nah, I can't do that because I'm with Naeem. I know you hurt, but he went for it too.
Ain't nobody doing that, man. So you did. I'm saying they pass her around, but I mean, it's a circle. It's a circle, but she picked it up. I said she went from that to it's okay. You can go from hoe to housewife. And I'm not saying that she's old, but you can go from, that's why they say you can change a hoe into a housewife, but that's neither here nor there.
No, the phrase is you can't change a hoe into a housewife.
Well, they did because
who's the hoe?
She's an educator. Nobody.
I want to make sure that's clear. Yes.
She's an educator, but I feel like the situation with Jessie and Brandy and, you know, them going to Miami. And if y'all don't know, Jessie is, well, we can't spoil that right now because we find out in book 2, but we know Jessie's a marshal right now. She's a U.S. marshal. Yeah. And Brandy is Kwame's baby mama, right? The girl who skipped town
messy.
on him.
She's
messy as baby mama. So y'all go ahead. Well, any one of y'all can go ahead and say, well, we know what she did inside. And for the viewers that don't know, you can go ahead and take it away.
I just want to say, Jessie, the fact that she was a U.S. Marshal, that was one thing that I would say about just this whole book. Amy being a hacker, Capri being an ADA, Jessie being a U.S. Marshal. It's not that I didn't enjoy that these women were stepping outside the box, but it didn't quite make sense. The way that Jessie acts, U.S. Marshals, you know what they do? They're very serious. They have a very serious job, you know? And she's just very loosey-goosey, like, you know, I'm partying, I'm cheating, I want to bring this guy, and, you know, and it was just like...
Texas Walker Ranger. That's what I think of when I think of U.S. Marshal.
You're not bringing work to the function, no matter what you do.
In Guila?
Yeah, that's true. But when I found out she was a marshal, it was just like, none of her behavior depicted any kind of, like, she didn't even seem that smart. I said the same thing about Amy. I love me some Amy. I did. I love Amy. That's my girl. I hate when people talk bad about her because I feel for her. But her being a hacker, she was an airhead, and now she's all of a sudden breaking in. Capri becoming an ADA. She's a lawyer who barely had court experience, and now she's the assistant district attorney. I don't care which strings you had to pull. That is impossible. How is she going to be the assistant district attorney and be trying cases, and she doesn't have courtroom experience? She you know, so that was one thing I will say about Jessie. All the women characters, I love the way Jahquel elevated them. You know, like they're not just the wives and the sisters.
Well, the reason how she got that job is because what's his name?
It was 40 pulled the strings.
So,
no, he pulled the string.
We don't want to spoil it, but 40
So it wasn't like she earned that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she earned it. So
was like,
let's not say it like she earned it. You know, it was strings.
I know she didn't earn it, but
she's a nobody when it comes to courtroom experience. Like
that's what I mean.
Like you have zero experience. Nor you're not even in motion. You don't even have any emotion when it comes to like the legal community there in New York. They don't even know who you are.
They don't know who you are.
Like,
and again,
well, I'm just saying,
it is, but it has to make sense.
When it comes to promotion, I know that I'm like, man, how did he get promoted?
Right. Yeah.
Like I've been in traffic.
You experienced it. How did he get to lead? How did he get to lead staff? How did he get the night shift supervisor?
I'm just saying,
we watched it.
It's just like you haven't defended, you haven't prosecuted not a now case. You haven't defended not a
P. You running the shift? Jules running the shift. Who? Who that? I'm like, oh, you ain't never see him? Oh yeah, it's the new dude, Jules. He running the shift. They're like, yo, who that, Paul?
I mean, because I wanted my girl to elevate, but it has to make sense. Like, and especially because as the ADA, she's going to be having to do ADA things, but she has literally no experience. Like it takes years to work your way up to be an ADA. It's not just about, like, if she was a lawyer, she was a practicing lawyer, and then they elevated it, that makes sense, but she don't have no courtroom experience, and this is how you want her to make a difference, by being the assistant district attorney. I was like, that is insane. Like, how was she? And I'm not saying that Capri can't do it. It is the stakes is high.
And then they played off of the vices of the district attorney.
Yes.
Right? Yep. Morgan has a thing for short skirts.
Yep,
and,
he does.
You know, and
this
so if you put,
crazy, crazy,
you see what I'm saying? And so it's just like, he ain't about to be like, nah, I don't want her. He be like, yeah, bring her in here.
Bring that little black chocolate thing.
Yeah.
Had a thing for the black fine women.
Exactly. So, I mean, Josh still made it work. This is, you know, because
think about
you're leveraging vices with the governor and 40 and, you know,
how all that's connected. And
how do you have to have that you have to be in a dark writing. And I mean like dark, like, you know, like dark. I'm talking about like lights off. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be like this. You know what I mean?
A candle.
In the jump. You got to be like, yo, like Batman in there, like, you know, and then it's like, don't disturb her. She's writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be in that type of space, because to bring it all together, the stakes is high. We're reading this book and it's like, boom, 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 boom. It's like edgy. It's like the edgy, you know, and then we get to like I say, Brandy's behavior throughout the whole book.
So bad,
she was so corny from the ring. You know, I that happened in book 2. I don't want to ruin that with the ring stuff. But even with this portion of
she's
it,
jealous.
FaceTime and Kwame, You know what I mean?
To try to show him, like,
show him that she's on
Capri's
Mason.
Little football player.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was super corny. You think you're gonna get brownie points, but see, that's what happens when you don't have all information because she don't know what's going on in their relationship. And as much as I don't like Kwame, and I feel like he's too mushy, and I feel like he's just a cornball.
You just a hater. You a hater.
He's a super cornball, but they're cornballs together,
super
and it makes it work. So Brandy's behavior. She's just the opposite of Kwame. Just Kwame's on the right side now because he was the one who got hurt and everything. But they both corny and they typically do deserve each other.
I don't get Brandy's
again, it
angle.
is what it is.
I didn't get her angle. It's like you literally broke his heart.
Does she want that?
No, but that's the point. She could have had him. He literally, remember he talks about he changed for her. He became somebody different. He became who she wanted him to be because he was in love with her. Okay. I think that you don't like Quamir because
he said
of the
it, not me though.
thing.
He said it though.
But
he said, I hate the fact that she turned me into a sucker. And that's he said, that's the main reason why I'm upset. Cause she had me out here looking like a cornball. That was him. Those are his words.
We corny for the women that we love. We get a little, that's how it's supposed to be. Like, my husband's weakness is always going to be me. You know what I mean? I get what I want. I'm the wifey. Of course, he's a little corny when it comes to me, but that's how love is sometimes. That's why I don't mind Quamir being mushy and corny because Capri needs that. The men in her life are just these hardened, like, and then look what Naheem gave her. But I will say, I just never understood Brandy's angle. Like, you're married to a whole nother man, right? You broke Quamir's heart. You act like you don't want to be with him, right? They got a child, they co-parent. What do you want from him? Like I think it's just one of those things where you know how when
and then you got a questionable situation with your husband.
Yeah, like you got a questionable situation with your husband. Like, but what do you want? You left him. You didn't even let him have the joy of seeing you pregnant and interact with the baby when the baby was in the womb. You took that from him. So now you're trying to act all jealous for what? Like, what do you want? And you have to look at Quamir does not like Brandy. It's not like Capone and Aaron. Because they had Ella, they had a good co-parenting relationship. He was cool with her. Quamir cannot stand Brandy. Like, he called her something like a piece of shit, or he wanted to smush some shit in her face. He said something like that, and he cannot stand her. So I don't get what she wants. He doesn't like you. He doesn't want you. What are you doing? Like, what do you do? What is the end goal here? You want him back? Cause it's not going to happen. Are you just jealous? Cause you can't mess with Capri. I know that's not what you're thinking. You're going to step to Capri.
She wants the attention. She's an attention hooker.
She
Let's be clear. Absolutely. She loves attention and she wants Kwamir's attention. She don't want the relationship. She don't want she don't want to put in the work as well. And she don't want to be faithful. But she just wants the attention.
She wants the attention.
She wants the benefits without the commitment. And like Mir peeps through all that, man.
He does. He don't like her.
I want to shift the conversation to Miami because a lot of stuff happened in Miami.
A lot of stuff happened in Miami.
I mean, Qasim catching feelings for Blair. He's choking up homie in the club with a blank face.
Look, what you want to do? You coming with me or what? Like, I was like, oh, damn.
She like, yes.
Exactly. And then Capri tells Mir that she missed her cycle. And so, like, there's a
drunk out there. Look at you. You're drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like Martin said, look at you, you're drunk.
But you tell the truth when you're drunk, though. Let's be clear.
You tell the truth. Man never tells no tale.
And we find out, ultimately, that Capri, after they drag, Qasim and them, they come in there, the lover brothers, they come in there, him these dudes up that's messing with the ladies, you know what I'm saying? And, Kwame ready to kill everything that Capri talked to.
Because he said, you carrying a gut full of my sugar.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ready to off the world. Sim is like, Blair, tell these dudes, tell them good night. Like, stop playing
literally.
And let's go. He picks Blair up, put her over the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine him with his IG jacket on and just picking Blair up, putting her over the shoulder. And she like, all right, we going. She like that type of stuff.
Stop
you feel me?
Blair.
And then, you got Goon coming in there. What's up, lawyer? You know what I'm saying? Like, Goon coming in there on his fly stuff. You know what I'm saying? F you me. You know what I mean?
Every time he says that, I crack up laughing.
Right. And he coming in there talking about all of this stuff, hollering at Zoyo, whatever the case may be, spitting his game. And then, Miami was cool, right? They had to charter up the jet, and we find out on this one faithful trip that Capri Delgato, soon to be Inferno, is pregnant. How did y'all feel about the Capri's pregnancy reveal? And, how will you think does it raise the stakes and will it impact the Delgato universe?
I mean, they like got a bundle of kids now. I mean, it's Aliyah, it's CJ, it's Cece. I think Aaron had another baby or she's pregnant. Aliyah.
Twins.
And they got twins. Like, so
yeah.
I think
Amy and
her baby, you know, like it's they got a bundle of kids, and I think
but
her story fits the rest.
It ain't the baby. It's Capri.
What do you mean?
It's the only
Capri.
daughter. It's the stakes is higher because it's Capri. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna notice
I don't know if the stakes is higher. I mean, this happens in every single series. Like they get together, they find out that they're pregnant. With Aliyah, she was already pregnant. Aaron gets pregnant, and like so, I feel like that it just. I expected it to happen that way because it just that's what they do. They get together.
That she has either.
What do you mean? What burden does she have?
How many shootouts was Capri on in her book while being pregnant?
Oh, that's
literally
true.
Facts.
But I mean, you have to look at how many
shot at every scene in the diner. I mean,
but
at the
Capone and Capadonna get shot at, and they are fathers. They could leave their kids without.
She also has to navigate that public space as well.
Yeah.
You know, and so I feel like that's your
stakes is high.
You have to navigate the public space, and then you have to also navigate the streets as well, the underworld of the streets. Like you're living in two worlds,
3 worlds. Eventually, being a wife, being a family woman, being a businesswoman, and being what they call a Lady Inferno. So now you have a mantle.
Yeah, like you wearing a lot of hats.
In 3 different worlds, and you operate. And that's what I'm saying. Aliyah and them didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, eventually, Aaron didn't have to do that.
Those railroad tracks are going to overlap.
Exactly.
There's going to be a collision somewhere.
Carrying while you're doing all of these things.
Yeah.
Riding motorcycles, getting shot at, you know what I'm saying, beating up girls, having fights. Like all of this stuff take place in Capri.
Like you are pregnant, sugar.
Like you're not pregnant. You know, the littlest things can cause a miscarriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like stress can cause a miscarriage. And
her not eating. He had to keep telling her to
not
eat.
eating.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dealing with a smoke head, a sherm head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the life she signed up for. And I'm not saying that the stakes are not higher and that she is not putting herself at risk because she is a woman. She's pregnant. It's a little bit different. But I look at just the Delgado family in general. Capone was going out and getting shot at when Aaron was pregnant. You know, there was a time, one of them got shot. I forget who it was, but one of them actually got shot in the arm.
He got shot in the arm.
And I like that because it showed, Jahquel showed like anybody could get shot in this series. Naheem got shot twice. Kincaid got shot, died,
Capri
came back to life. Capri got shot. So I feel like, again, the attitude that you have is why I feel like her and Mir are perfect for each other because he doesn't underestimate her. He doesn't put her in a box and say, hey, you're a woman and you're doing all this. Be careful. Like you like her brothers will always be like, are you sure? Nah, Pri, you can't do this. You know, Quamir is the one who I'm right beside you. And in every single book, he's always there. If he's not there, he sends somebody. He is always, but he doesn't like limit her in what she can do. Like Naheem, I feel like being with him, he would have wanted to limit her. I think he was envious of her. He was envious of her shine. She didn't give him attention because she's doing all these other things. So long term, you have to think her and Naheem wouldn't have worked anyway. Because look at the roles that she's playing. He wouldn't have liked that. He wouldn't have been able to handle her success. But the thing about Meerkat is he doesn't underestimate her and he lets her rise to that occasion without putting her in a box. So yes, the stakes are a little bit higher, but I just always like that. He let her do her. I feel like a lot of her brothers, they didn't protect her like they should have. And then they also tried to keep her clothes off. And she's like, I'm grown. Like, you know, and I feel like Mir he supported her. He was there for her. I definitely think she got to take better care of herself. But I like that she is doing more. Capri is a strong woman. And I love that we're being able to showcase it.
Well, Capri is in a dark space too. Let's be clear.
You think she's still in a dark space?
I feel like she went through a dark space alone. I mean, when it talks about when they got into where she aborted Naheem's baby while she was still nursing a bullet wound, and where like what I gather from that is like, man, and she talks about how she just would call him and they would sleep and he would just get up and just buck and leave as if she was like the side chick. She went from being his wife.
I mean, yeah, she was the side chick. And he treated his other side chicks better than he treated Capri as the side chick.
I've been married for 21 years, about to be 22 years. Like, put myself in my wife's shoes and see her go from she's never the side chick. In any situation, whether she was married to me, my wife is not the type to be, she's not a side chick. And that's how I look at Capri. I don't see Capri as a side chick, but she's engaging in side chick behaviors because she's in a...
She was. That's the past. You have to look at where she's at now. That thing happened with Naheem, and she went and took her vacation. And
but we're just not finding out about it, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, we're just not finding out about it in this particular 1.5. And so...
Naheem was misunderstood.
But how was he misunderstood, Jay? He literally treated her like crap as the side chick. Literally.
I'm just praying for that book. I'm just praying for Naheem, and it better be up to 3.5.
We know that it's coming, baby. Let's go.
But like I said, I'm gonna read it, but I'm not.
When you talk about it being emotional, like, this was an emotional spot in 1.5 for me when Capri started really talking about her going into that abortion clinic and her having to, and you know what I'm saying, having to go through that alone, not even being able to bring her mama into that part. Because her mama still wanted her to be with Naheem.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then you up here nursing a bullet wound. Like, your husband isn't even there for you to, like,
that's
really...
not her husband anymore. But...
Well, right. Yeah, but you still, like...
carrying something.
This don't even care about you to the... Like, man, that was just I felt like Capri won me during that little sequence.
I mean, that's why I can't say Naheem. Even in all her flashback memories, you just really start to see, like, he really, and that's the thing. I don't even think he wanted Capri back. I think he wanted the idea of Capri. I don't think he ever really knew her. You see how Mir gets her. He understands. She don't even have to say something, and he'll be like, "What's wrong? What's up?" You know, that's not happening. He can read her so well. Naheem could never do that. But I think he wants the idea of having Capri as a wife. But I don't think he ever really knew her, because
he needed a marriage coach. That's what he needed. Because, like, you got to think. Like, Capone wasn't married yet. Capadonna's still locked up. So he doesn't even have a model of marriage, right? You out there, like, winging it, you know? And so, like,
I mean,
Papa Dez wasn't...
Loyalty. I feel like that's the first start. You get married, that is
I agree, man.
It's hard. It's hard. What's hard about staying loyal to your wife? I don't think that's difficult.
We need to get his origin story.
That's what I say. It's hard.
We get his origin story. We can't... Because something came out in the Club Shay Shay interview with, what's his name?
Michael Beasley.
Michael Beasley, right? He said something that was really powerful. He said, you assume that everyone has the upbringing that you had, like, right? You judge from that, and you make decisions based off of your experience, but you don't know what my experience was. You know what I'm saying? You had a 4 football field head start. I started in the negative, right?
Absolutely, definitely.
And so it's just like, we don't know what Naheem's story is. And so it's just like, it's easy from where we stand to say, you should have did X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. But we don't know his story, man.
And while Capri was going through that abortion,
and it was really, like, he talked about how, like, Michael Beasley talked about how, like, he went out and bought a car when he first got in the league, and he went and bought an Infiniti, right? And he thinking, he like, man, I got an Infiniti, man, for real. He pull up to the practice. His partner's like, what you got? What you driving?
Because what's good to him ain't what's good to everybody else, yo.
Exactly. And so, but in his mind, he made it. I got an Infiniti. I made it.
That's the classic car. That's the classic hood car.
And so I'm curious about, like, I feel like he hopped into marriage and he was in over his head and he panicked and he didn't know what to do.
But you also have
I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying his decisions was right. I'm just saying, like, have you been in panic mode when them bullets coming at you and you look in your magazine and you only got 1 round left?
Yeah,
like, he was in panic left. He didn't have any marriage rounds.
What was he in panic about? Capri was in school, but she loved him. She was.
How do I operate in this level where I'm selfless?
This is again. She told him they didn't have to get married. People forget that. She told him. She even says that. I knew he would need time. Capadonna even was like, I knew you was going to get out of jail and do all that, but I was hoping you wouldn't. So it's like, they told him, like, she's like, we don't have to get married.
And you need to go to premarital counseling too. You need to get some eyes on the relationship.
He wanted to get married. He wanted to do that. And when Capri tells him, look, I'll stop studying. And maybe I ain't been there for you. I will stop studying. And he just rudely leaves her. So you have to look at, look, this is what I'm saying.
And Naheem should have said, don't stop studying.
We don't know Naheem's origin
story. I'm going to go holler at Tasha.
But you have to look at, no matter what his origin story is, look how he treated even Tasha. I feel like there were times he treated Tasha better than he treated Capri, and she was the side chick, you know? And Capri was his wife. And you have to think he cheated on her the full 3 years. We'll later find out he disclosed some of her very personal information in front of everybody. So it's just, he did so many things that I kept feeling like, okay, we don't know his origin. We got to give him time. But he did things that were foul foul. You don't do that. And I've said this from the very beginning. The reason why he felt so comfortable is because he remained unchecked. Every single thing he did, none of the brothers checked him. The mother still loves him. And they are coming at Capri for sleeping with Kincaid. And nobody said anything to Naheem. Her own mother wants her to be with this man who cheated on her. Her own brother is like, I'm having a hard time choosing between Capri and Naheem because he was my brother in jail. Who gives a dang? You know, it doesn't matter. So I look at that. Naheem, you were protected by the family. They loved you. They brought you in. And what do? You destroy their greatest treasure. You destroy.
Naheem put in work too. He put in work too.
They definitely protected him because he was doing, think about this. Capadonna steps to Kincaid. They didn't check him. They don't check him. For less. And
let's be clear.
They could have fired him. They could have demoted him. Anything. He still had his same position. He still had them same benefits.
They could have just sent him away.
Sent him away.
He's Capone right hand man.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't going on the live because you
Capone wanted to kill him. Capone even said that I was going to kill you, but she didn't want me to.
He's Capone and Capadonna's right hand man outside of Quasi. Because even when Cap come home, it's Naheem that's riding with him majority of the time. It's Naheem that's next to him most of the time. Naheem literally he's the third person in the group. He might not be as potent. He's the what's the girl from Destiny Child? The one who left.
All I'm saying
not
is
the first one, but the second. Latoya Luckett. He's Latoya Luckett.
And you see, she left the group and they were fine and they were even more successful. And yet still they will not get rid of Naheem. And I just, even as the books go on, that was another thing about this book. I said, why is he even still here? He's not with Capri. Kincaid is not with Capri. I don't give a damn what he has going on. Like, get rid of him.
He's in the crew.
Kincaid is working.
He's a shooter.
So what?
He's a shooter.
But he is irrelevant. His storyline was Capri. He's irrelevant. And then him coming back and being like, looking at her like, oh, look how good she looked. I don't care how good you think she looked.
And then he capping the Capella talking about, I still talk to her. When?
Like, no, you
she
don't.
called me for my birthday. Man, that don't count.
Listen, man, Capri foul. You know, but also let me say this. While Naheem,
I'm going down the rabbit hole. I'm going down the rabbit hole.
I'm gonna get off of it right now. But what I'm saying is, while Capri was doing her abortion thing, Naheem was also going through the death of his family member as well. So like when we get his origin story and we realize what's really happening, then we can get into the psyche. And I'm feeling like everything is going to connect. And Capri is no angel. It's like, to me, it's 70-30 on the blame scale.
You with this Capri thing, I don't get it.
I said it's 70-30. Like you have
no sympathy for my girl. Like you just
said 70-30. It's 30% Naheem
she
fault.
She did this.
I mean,
you even said it's difficult to stay loyal. Like, no, it's
and
not.
And it's 30% Capri fault. It's 70-30. Naheem got most of the blame.
I don't blame her for any of it. He broke the vows.
She gotta own. No, listen. She gotta own some of it because here's the thing: you're enabling him as well, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't set boundaries, and so guess what? The hole just keeps getting bigger and bigger because you failed to set boundaries and you failed to protect yourself, right?
She asked him, "Are you cheating? Just tell me." And he lied to her, even though she knew it.
Just leave, but she knew it. She knew it.
She also has her mom telling her, "Don't leave. Don't leave.
Asking
stay
if
with
you're
him."
cheating on me, but you're finding condom wrappers. You got all the evidence you need.
I think she would have stayed with him if he would have been like, you know what? I did. I'm sorry. So I think that's what she was waiting on. I know you cheated because I've done that. My husband, I've asked him something. I already know the answer, but I'm going to see. Did you do this?
Did you eat my Cheerios?
Did you eat this? Did you do this? Because I know, but I want to open it up and give you a chance to
on your side of the bed.
Give you a chance to tell me. And I think that's what she was doing. Because remember when she goes with Aaron, she already knew he was cheating, but now she's like, let me see who he's cheating with. Because I know he's been cheating, but let me see who he's cheating with. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. She has to take some of the blame. I just look at
and so that's why I say
people hate her.
And I'm not saying like it's 70. I'm like, I kind of agree. I probably put it like a little bit like I probably put it like 80, 20, 80 Naheem, 20. You know what I'm saying? But like, because it takes two. And people are going to do what you allow them to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. And they're adults at the end of the day. And she could go down to their courthouse and sign those papers, write those papers up. And you know what I'm saying? Like she could take ownership of her life. She doesn't have to allow life to happen to her. She could make life happen. Right? And create some safe boundaries. And when you find someone not valuing you the way that you should be valued, you know?
Absolutely.
You got to do what you got to do.
Well, I
definitely understand the dynamic that you mentioned earlier where it's just like, man, I want to save my marriage. right?
I mean, I've been there. Like, this is your man. This is the person that you thought you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You know how hard it is to try to start over, to try to, you've shared memories with them. You've shared your body with them, memories. You've went through miscarriages together. You've experienced tragedies together. This is your person, and they screw up, and it's just like, you don't know how that breaks you. It's just like, you don't want to leave them. You want to make it work by all means, but they have to start off by being honest.
In this,
I have so much invested, and it's hard to just leave, and then you have, like I said, her mom, who is constantly in her ear, like mad at her for wanting to leave Naheem. And she wants her mom's acceptance. She wants that relationship. She sees the way Jean is with Aaron and Aliyah. And so she's like, well, maybe I got to listen to my mom. She knows how to make marriage last. Her and dad have been going good. Maybe she's right. And so you have to understand that part as well. So I just feel like she was lost. She didn't know who she was. And I think when she went on that trip, she had Mir and she came back. I definitely think she was changed. She wasn't going to let certain stuff slide. And I just love seeing her glow up in this book.
Speaking of mom wrote some letters over the years.
She did.
There were some letters being written, man. Mom got some secrets.
That was it. That was in 2. That was in 2.
That was in 1.5.
No, because I think
it came out at the end of 1.5.
Oh, the end of 1.5. When they was in the
Core moms and Delgado parents, they wrote letters over the years because Capri sits down with Core. And that's where he's like, how did you know? He's like, well, I found some letters.
I'm thinking I'm talking about the family scene.
No,
not that. That doesn't happen. I'm just talking about the sit down where Capri found out. Yeah. And so, you know what I'm saying? And then he it's just a lot of information is divulged as far as just like, how does Core know, Menace? And it's like, Core knows Zoya.
Yeah.
And that's, Menace's sister. And, it's pretty cool. But
a whole nother world.
Yeah. We get into that one too.
And as we get into question 6, which is the whole reason for Capri, right? We get these big news, and this is the family pressure. This is what starts the Capri. This is what starts the end all,
ADA.
And it moves on to Capri books 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5, with 40 revealing updates about Morgan and his Stop the Violence initiative. We know that Morgan wants to put the pressure on the initiative to stop violence, but he mainly wants to get to the brothers. And who has to stop him from getting to the brother? It's not the Delgado brothers, because they don't fit in this world. 40 needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat.
They don't fit in this world.
They don't fit in this world. And this is where Capri gets to be elevated into glory, and her her star starts to get a lot shinier and a lot brighter, because coming to the stage, right?
Yeah.
You don't have Capri Inferno.
Pants.
We don't even have Capri Delgado. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to ADA Brown. And this is where all the music comes
slow
out,
motion,
Stone Cold comes out. JR's like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Louis Vuitton briefcase.
Exactly. As she's walking out, and Capri Brown is being called to the stage. She has to go under Brown because she can't go under Delgado, and she definitely can't go through Inferno. So 40 asks her to step up. And this is the sacrifice that she has to make to protect her brothers, because they have to take down Morgan, who wants to become mayor and found a loophole to become mayor by staying a New York resident, even though he was doing business out in Baltimore. So
real talk.
They devised this plan for the governor's ball to make sure that they handle Morgan once and for all, who's been a thorn in the side of the Delgados and Infernos. Because we're going to find out later on, that Jean and Papa Inferno should have been took care of this problem a long time
ago.
Talk. So, knowing that the big news is out,
guess who's busy?
And the family pressures at all-time high, and Capri now has to navigate all these worlds for the upcoming books, all the way up until we get to Monaco, if I'm not mistaken, right? The governor's ball, Monaco. What do you feel like was going through your minds while reading this portion of the book, knowing this is the plot for the next 4 books taking over and the plan that's being devised?
I didn't think it made sense that the Delgados and 40 didn't know that Morgan was Jesse's dad. I felt like that was a major slip up. Because when you do like like background work on somebody, you know, their enemies, who they messing with, you gonna look at their children, like who they connected to. And the fact that now we're finding out that Jessie is Morgan's daughter, like, and I just kept thinking, Capri, you've been knowing this girl since when? Since y'all was in college. And not saying that you would just know everybody's dad and everything, but I'm like, nobody knew this. 40's doing all this behind the scene work, and Morgan wants to do this to y'all. He wants to do this. And you don't know his kids. You don't know his. So that to me, I found it just this bit unrealistic, because I was like, there's no way that they didn't. How did he miss that? And then 40 goes on to explain, oh, it was above my head, whatever. I was like, how did y'all not know this? How did y'all let this slip? And I don't know, maybe it's just the Delgados are slipping. You know, this is a whole nother thing for them. They're used to doing street justice. This is more legal. Yeah. You know, and that could be it. They can't keep their eyes on everything in this world, because they don't have an in here except for 40, and he doesn't know everything either, you know, so maybe that was just a slip up. But I was like, that was a dangerous slip up, because Capri keeps her family separate, so Jessie doesn't know. But you don't know what she's a U.S. Marshal. She should be smart. She should be able to pick up on certain things. So that's why I said the way all of this is coming together, right? She's a U.S. Marshal. Like, she knows what her dad is working on, I'm sure. You know, she knows about the crime, and she never connects Capri to it. I don't know. I just felt like maybe somebody knows something that I don't know they know, and it comes out later. But it fit together a little too nicely for me, if I'm being honest.
I was curious how Jahquel was going to navigate this space of just the legal space and the crime, the criminal justice side of things. You know, she's great when it comes to the criminal side.
Yes.
But I was curious how well she was going to do with the criminal justice side of things, navigating through the lawyer space, navigating through the law officials, you know, the detectives, the marshals, and just when this book ends with a surprise, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just like,
yeah, that was crazy.
How is she? I just have this pit in the bottom of my stomach. Like, how is she going to navigate this? And is the pen going to drop off? Mm-hmm. And I finished this series, and so the pen doesn't drop off at all. And y'all gotta check our next video out for Capri too, because listen. Like, for real, this gets interesting for real. Like, and it holds your attention too. Because I was like, man, am I gonna fall asleep on this, where it goes from here? But the way this book ends, you can't fall asleep.
You can't.
Because the streets are so interwoven into this, like, where the story goes. It's crazy. And then you got Cap talking about, you know, because Capadonna was like, why did he come to you with this information? And so Capri says, okay, so what if he came to you with this information?
What were you going to
have done?
He said, I would have swabbed his effing mouth.
Not doing nothing.
Exactly. And so I love how this story is going. And like you said, Jay, nobody but Capri could be at the helm of this part of the story.
Yep, absolutely. Her time to shine.
It's her time to shine.
It is.
She was who she was before she got here.
Yep.
She already went to law school. She already went to school. All that, you know, leads up to this climax of her taking the lead role in this series.
I'm just so proud of her.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm proud of her, you know, taking on the bigger role.
We could not end off a Jahquel book without
a twist,
without a plot twist.
If
it ain't
furious.
One, they go to this little
drop the pen, bro. Like,
they go to this little rendezvous of the meetings of the officials of New York. A little ball,
governor's ball,
the little governor's ball, little something, little razzle dazzle. They chilling.
Ain't really even a governor's ball. It's more like
I guess like a meet and greet, like a little, and it's like, okay, what's here? What's going on? Like a lot of lovely ladies out here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? People getting cut off. You know what I mean? So it's like, wait, what's going on? And then I see somebody over there. I think I know who that over there. Wait a minute, what the snap? And then the big bad wolf, she done stole your man. It could have been so long. It had to be a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like. You know, and it's like, who the hell is that in the corner? Capri got low too, bro. Cause she said it cool, like, what you doing? She like, I see somebody I know. Like, you beat her up. You won the fight. You do know that, right? But Capri like, she can't let her see me.
Exactly.
And she like, in this let me get up out of here. So they dip out cause she see none other than Tasha. And it's like, how did the goat make her way back? How did she get out of prison?
What is she the greatest at? Cooking crack? Is that what y'all saying?
You an improved Capri.
ready to go too. She's trained and ready to go.
Joking.
She been in prison a long time right now. So we don't know what the hell Tasha's doing there. And her and Cora's in the car. And she's
With
like,
Amy
yo, that's
too.
Tasha. That's my old arch nemesis. What the hell is she doing out? She's supposed to be in jail. Why is she at the ball? Who does she know? Cora like, yo, you know, old girl? And Amy in the back just talking crazy. And then this would not be a Jahquel book if we didn't get on the road. And I'm gonna let y'all end it off because I felt like I've been talking too much.
No, Jay, you ain't really saying nothing. Yes,
we couldn't do it without a car scene.
Bring it home.
We couldn't do it without a car scene. Amy, you strapped. You know I am corny as hell. Amy in the back corny. She just got,
but she just got though. She love it. She
just got the gout. She ain't been shooting at that long.
She like, I'm ready.
You know I'm strapped. You know I'm strapped. Right? And here we go. We got the CVs on
Desert Ease.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they smooth and Cole like, it's the truck following behind them. Cole like, nah, we got to switch it up. Cole whipping it around. And you know what I'm saying? And mind you, they're not even in New York. They're not even in New York right now. So he whipping it out and he like, turning corners. He telling her like, listen, they got the phone. Nothing is on the phone. Capri's like, what the hell is all these numbers? He like, yo, this is case house stuff. And we gonna find out what's going on with Menace and the case house and the Casellis and all of that. He's explaining to her, his workings or whatever. He got the license plate, the digital plates that switch out.
He notorious for that.
He notorious. That's what I'm saying. Call, he doing this little computer clickety clack things, right? So then we got to get into a shootout because it's not a Jahquel book if the saxophones ain't playing, and I wish I had the saxophone playing right now.
Facts. And I can't. It's hard for me to read these other books because I'm
after that,
I'm waiting for the highway scenes in these books. I'm like, man, ain't no shootouts.
You waiting for it. You waiting for the motion to go down, right? And then they get into the shootout and they try to ambush them. They try to ambush them again, and it's like, yo, what is going on? Who wants Capri Delgato? Well, no. Who wants 88 Brown dead? Because she's not Capri Delgato. She's not Capri Delgato. Who wants 88 Brown dead? Because who would have known that she was at the party? Why is she being targeted? Why is the 88 who have no aspect of who she is? Why is she being targeted? And to find out, ladies and gentlemen, Jahquel left us on a cliffhanger.
Of
and
course.
You gotta come back for book 2.
Gotta come back.
I'm going under soon. And I ain't talking about that. I'm just saying I'm going under soon. I'm going under some anesthesia. We'll talk about that later on. So I'm on one right now. You just never know.
Let's see.
But book 2 is coming. Anything y'all got to say? Anything we've missed? What about the notes? Because we done told them about the book already. We done explained. I think we explained a lot. Anything we missed? So
Amy can't keep a secret. She the one who let it slip that that Cora's Capri's brother.
She told Capella.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like we hit it all.
That's her man. That just you have to get
secrets.
She is really young too. She's not. She's young, and that's why I keep forgetting in this series. I will say that I like Amy. I feel for her. I feel like they don't understand her. She don't have nobody that's really hers and on her side. And Capella, he regressed a little bit in this book too. He was always so
sensitive.
Her
age, she don't have anybody at her age outside. She don't have anybody Skylar
her age.
Like, but in the family, in the family, that's her age.
Yeah, because Aaron and Aliyah, they're older than her. She's young, and I like her though. She can't keep a secret, but I like Amy. I love how she's trying to get with it. She's trying to do her part to help the family. And we see she got some secrets too. We'll see that in the next book. She
can't wait.
Amy,
we got another one coming for you. I don't know when book 2 gonna be coming, but just know we on book 2 now. So we finished Capri 1, and now this is Capri 1.5. You know what I'm saying? Capri she has to step up to the plate and do what needs to be done to save her family. And now it's high stakes. It's not just one brother. It's the entire family that's at stake. So until next time, right? We got Jules the architect. We got Key the reader. And you got Jay the speaker. And we are the Bookfest Club, ladies and gentlemen. We are out. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.